Hi guys, Ronnie here. Today I want to talk about my latest experiences with road tubeless systems. Now the first road tubeless wheel that I got was the Zip 303 Firecrest carbon clincher tubeless disc, so quite a mouthful of a name. And this is a wheel I intended to use for cyclocross racing and my Trek Boom. And then the other wheel I got, which is also tubeless ready, is the MV 7.8 carbon clincher. So we'll just talk about this one first. Now I have to say, in the past 1 or 2 years, I have done many conversions to tubeless on the mountain bike side of things, and I've even done many rim and tire combinations where the rim wasn't really designed to be tubeless ready, but still in most cases they were pretty easy to seal, and the seal was quite reliable. After a couple of rides it was almost perfect. So I have a really very good experience with that, and I was sort of expecting it to be basically the same with road wheels. So I got very disappointed, to be honest, when I got my 7.8, because I spent hours trying different rim tapes, different valves, different tires before I can finally get a reliable and a reliable seal without any air loss. So finally now I have, and I've been riding these wheels for the past 3 weeks, I think, and they are perfect. They ride very well. The wheels themselves are excellent, and the tires as well. No punctures, no cuts whatsoever, and the air loss is actually smaller than what I normally get with my latex tube setup on the other wheel sets. Now the setup was a bit easier on my Z303s. So the very first tire I have mounted on these are the Schwalbe Cross ones, and those were pretty, well, I would say bloody brilliant, because they held on so tight at the rim bead that even when the tire was flat, it was actually almost impossible to remove from the bead with bare hands, well, my weak hands, should I say, at least. So that was an excellent choice for cyclocross. But then I was looking at the internet a bit too much perhaps, and I figured that maybe a set of these exclusive Clement tires would be better. Well, I got 2 sets. This one is the PDX, and I have on currently, and it's a mud tire. And I also have the MXPs, which is sort of an intermediate terrain tire. So the first problem you get is when you mount these tires on a wide rim like this, 21mm internal, then they simply become extremely wide and really not within the UCI rules. So both of these tires will cross 37mm, which is completely unacceptable. And the cross ones were just spot on 33mm. So that was another, that was the first point of injury, should I say. And maybe the tread pattern might be a lot better, and maybe the carcass and the casing and everything should be grippier and nicer and supple, etc. But man, these tires burp like crazy on these rims, at least. Like even, well, they say they are tubeless ready, but from something that has this written on it, I really expected something else, because these took a couple of rides before they were somewhat stable, but still then if I was cornering hard, even at 25 or even higher 30 psi pressures, I still got burps, and at one point I completely blew the tire off the rim. And then, well, for this weekend's race, I thought it was going to be muddy because it had rained quite a lot, and that prediction was completely wrong because the course dried out so quickly there wasn't any mud to speak of. So you can see that this is just from the sand pit, otherwise the bike is completely clean. And well, that was not such a problem because the tires have a really well thought out pattern with this central ridge, which rolls very well, and the grip was just amazing. But I have done 3 sighting laps, and then I was about to race, and when I came into the start area, I noticed that my pressures are a bit off, a bit too soft, but there wasn't really anything I could do at that time because it was half a minute left until the gate dropped. So I went on. I did my first lap. That was quite okay. I was trying to move through the pack because I don't have a very good starting position because I don't have too many cyclocross results out there. And then I felt that I was really losing pressure from my rear tire, and even though this was pre-ridden, it was inflated multiple times, ton of sealant in it, pretty high pressure to start with, and you can see it just, tiny little burps happening all over the rim. You can see it because the sand stuck to the sealant, and in the second lap I just had to go for a pit stop to reinflate the tire because it was so flat, it was barely rideable anymore. Then I went on. The front one appeared to be quite okay, but as it turns out it was losing pressure as well, and at one point I was going very fast down the straightaway. I hit a bump, and then it just completely blew all the pressure out of my tires. So I had to go back to the pits. Well, I ran more than a kilometer because naturally it was on the farthest place of the track, and at that point I decided to call it quits because we couldn't even inflate the tire anymore. So yeah, that was a DNF after 2 race laps, 3 sighting laps. The tires were cooked, so perhaps on a different rim these tires can hold on. Well, first of all, you need a much narrower rim to at least fit into the rules, and secondly, well, the rim needs to have a different design because I think it's not a problem with the zip wheels because, as I said, the Schwalbe is held on like a terrified infant on there, but these just don't, for some reason, I don't know, maybe these are just faulty or whatever. Perhaps you have different experiences with these tires, and the grip is amazing, they're really well thought out, but for some reason on these wheels they just don't work. So I guess I'm going back to Schwalbe's for the next race. Well, there's one next weekend. If my tires arrive by that point, I'm going to do the race. If not, then, well, I'm not going to travel 3 hours just to do a DNF after 15 minutes. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I guess these are the things that you need to go through when you're starting a new discipline. Okay, so if you want to know more about the bike itself, perhaps my other bike, or bike should I say, for road racing and time trials, then don't forget to tune into my channel and subscribe. It's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.